God himself, the phrase matters. God himself, comma included. Because without the comma it turns into an abstraction, an object, a category to sort, debate, or disprove. With the comma it becomes a pointing gesture, not a definition, an indication. Like saying the fire itself or the sea itself. Speech is already late. Most of what goes wrong in theology begins when that distinction is forgotten. Not the devil's mirror. God himself is not the devil's opposite. That is a category error. The devil is a figure inside the story. God is the condition under which the story is tellable at all. The devil tempts, bargains, flatters, offers shortcuts. God does not negotiate because negotiation presupposes lack. God is not trying to get anything from anyone. The devil is always in a hurry. God is never rushed. That is why the blues work for the devil so easily. The blues live in lack. Money running out, love slipping away, time doing what time does best. The devil fits there naturally. What else is there to do? It is a real question, a good one. God himself answers that question without answering it. Not by filling the lack, but by revealing it. A secondary dictation changes everything. If the Torah is dictation, then everything else follows with ruthless consistency. Dictation means wording is not decorative. Repetition is not stylistic. Gaps are intentional. Anomalies are data, not noise. Dictation collapses the modern distinction between content and form. There is no idea behind the words that could have been phrased differently. The phrasing is the idea. Law is not encoded in language. Language is the law. That is why Judaism does not permit paraphrase at the level of revelation. Commentary is endless. Replacement is forbidden. The text can be circled forever, but it cannot be rewritten. Once dictation is accepted, questions about whether Hebrew is beautiful become irrelevant. Precision replaces aesthetics. Hebrew is not human in the usual sense. Saying Hebrew is not a human language can be coherent if careful about what is meant. Hebrew is spoken by humans. It can be learned, mispronounced, butchered, forgotten, revived. In that sense, it behaves like a human language, but its function in the tradition is not human first. Hebrew is not a label system attached to a pre-existing reality. It is closer to an operating language, a language in which reality executes. Creation happens through speech, not metaphorically, functionally. Let there be is not a description of an act. It is the act that is the core claim. Everything else, gematria, letter, shape, spacing, cantillation, flows from that. If language is ontological, then letters are not arbitrary. They are constraints, limits, switches. That is why Torah cannot be translated without remainder. Meaning leaks always, not because translators are bad, but because other languages are downstream. Angels aren't translators, they're vectors. The idea that angels fix God's Hebrew implies God needs editing. Absurd. Angels are not editors, they are vectors. They do not improve the signal, they carry it like voltage through a system that would fry the circuit if delivered raw. When tradition says angels carry prayers that need not imply distance, it can name embodiment. Prayer moves through layers of articulation, breath, sound, intention, meaning angels can name those layers. They are how, not who. That is why the three visitors to Abraham can both announce a birth and destroy a city without contradiction. Same source, different vector. Mercy and judgment are not opposites. They are outputs of the same reality under different conditions. God does not speak the way humans do. When God speaks is said. Translation is already happening. God does not open a mouth. God does not choose words from a menu. God does not hesitate, revise, or clarify. Speech in this context can be understood as manifestation through distinction. Speech divides light from dark, sea from land, command from permission, clean from unclean. Speech introduces difference. That is why law is central. Law is not more advice, it is differentiation. It tells reality where one thing ends and another begins. Without law, everything collects into undifferentiated force. The devil hates this, not because law is harsh, but because law limits the conversation. The devil thrives in blur, maybe this, maybe that. What's the difference? God himself draws lines. Silence is not absence. The practice sometimes described as move on the two is not necessarily mystical theatrics. It can be attentional ethics. Impulse once is noise, impulse twice is signal. That is not magic. That is restraint. It is the refusal to confuse urgency with truth. God does not shout because shouting bypasses consent. God waits because waiting preserves freedom.